Most of the world probably knows of this photo. Right here, this is Shawn Oakman, who used to be a defensive end for Baylor. Now, he got memed when he played in the Cotton Bowl, mainly because of his insane physique. The guy looked like a monster, and he looked like he could bully anybody, and a lot of the memes around him were mainly about him doing what he wants. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about what happened to Shawn Oakman. Shawn Oakman was born April 7th, 1992. He would attend Penwood High School in Lansdowne, Pennsylvania, where he's a basketball and football star. But despite his 6'9" height, he was actually more known for his skill on the gridiron than on the basketball court. According to 247 Sports Composite, in the 2011 class, Shawn Oakman was ranked as the 213th best player in the nation, the 16th best strong side defensive end in the nation, and the 5th best player in the state of Pennsylvania. Despite being a star in high school, he would not have the most offers. He had offers to Temple, South Carolina, Rice, Pitt, NC State, Connecticut, and Penn State. He would decide to stay close to home and attend Penn State. In the 2011 college football season at Penn State, Shawn Oakman would end up redshirting. However, Shawn Oakman would not be a part of the Penn State Nittany Lions football team for very long. In the 2012 offseason, he ended up getting in trouble, and he got dismissed from the Penn State football team for a violation of team rules. And since he got dismissed from the football team, he would end up transferring to Baylor University. In the 2012 college football season, Shawn Oakman would have to sit out the entire season due to the NCAA transfer rules. After waiting a very long 2 seasons where he had to redshirt his first season, and the next season he had to sit out due to the NCAA's transfer rules, Shawn Oakman could finally play a down of college football in the 2013 college football season. In the 2013 college football season, Shawn Oakman, who was a redshirt sophomore, would appear in 11 games for the Baylor Bears, and he would end up getting 33 total tackles, 21 of them being solo, 12 of them being assisted, having 12.5 tackles for loss, 1 fumble recovery, and 2 forced fumbles. In that 2013 college football season, the Baylor Bears were on fire. They finished 11-2. They were sitting at top of the Big 12, and they seemed unstoppable on offense, and the defense was also very good. In the 2014 college football season, Shawn Oakman would have a breakout season. In 13 games with Baylor, he ended up totaling 15 total tackles, 37 of them being solo, 15 of them being assisted, 19.5 tackles for losses, 11 sacks, 3 pass deflections, 2 fumble recoveries, and 4 forced fumbles. The dude was insane. The Baylor Bears this season would end up going 11-2 and would pretty much have the same amount of success as the season prior, except they would not end up winning the Big 12 this season. But the thing that was probably the most notable in Shawn Oakman's breakout season in the 2014 college football season had to happen in the Cotton Bowl. In the Cotton Bowl this season, it was Baylor versus Michigan State. This was a very good matchup. Baylor ended up losing, however, 42-41, but the most notable thing from this game was when the captains from Baylor and the captains from Michigan State met at the center of the field for the coin flip. And Shawn Oakman took the internet by storm with his insane physique. I mean, he's a 6'9" guy who weighed about 270 pounds to 280 pounds. He was shredded, had tattoos all over his body, and even had a definition of a six-pack. When this photo hit the internet, it literally spread like wildfire. There were questions surrounding Shawn Oakman's name going into the 2015 NFL Draft, because if he would declare for the NFL Draft, especially that year's NFL Draft, there were people who thought he was going to be a first-round pick and even possibly the first pick in the NFL Draft, but definitely seemed destined to be a first-round pick. But instead, Shawn Oakman would not declare for the 2015 NFL Draft. Instead, he would come back for his redshirt senior season at Baylor, which honestly would do more harm than good to his NFL draft stock. In the 2015 college football season at Baylor, Shawn Oakman, now a redshirt senior, definitely would fall off in production a little bit just from the season prior. In this season, he would end up playing in 12 games, but his production was nowhere near the level that he had the season prior. He only had 43 total tackles compared to the 52 last season. He did have 32 solo, 11 assisted, only had 14.5 tackles for loss compared to the 19.5 he had last season. sacks. He only had 4.5 sacks compared to the 11 that he had the season prior, and he only had 2 forced fumbles in this season. And it wasn't just Shawn Oakman who didn't live up to the hype. I would say it was also the Baylor Bears. Going into the 2015 college football season, Baylor was seen as a team that could grab their second Big 12 title in just 3 years, and even seen as a team that could even reach the college football playoff and even possibly reach the national championship game. But this was kind of far from the truth. In the Big 12 this season, they finished in 4th place with a conference record of 6-3. Now, their final record wasn't bad. They ended up 10-3, but compared to the past couple seasons, the team didn't look as good as it did. I mean, on offense, they were still on fire, ranked as the number 1 team on offense, averaging 48 points a game. But on defense, statistically speaking, they're ranked as the 81st best defense in the nation, which has been a severe drop-off in the past couple seasons. After being projected as the number 1 pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, by the time of the end of the 2015 college football season, Shawn Oakman's stock has fallen quite a bit. He was now projected as a guy who would go from the 2nd to 5th round, and a lot of scouts didn't think he would go in the first 3 rounds. Once the hype started to die down from Shawn Oakman and his big breakout season in the 2014 college football season, the scouts noticed some concerns about him that they were kind of blinded by the hype before. They noticed he had a skinny lower body, a lack of a pass rush technique, and inconsistent motor chasing plays, and an inability to make plays against better competition. Although staying another year at Baylor clearly hurt his draft stock and the way scouts viewed him, he was still seen as a guy who was going to get drafted no matter what. But the unexpected would happen. Just 2 weeks before the 2016 NFL Draft, Shawn Oakman would be indicted on a sexual assault charge, and now he was seen as undraftable. This would end up making Shawn Oakman go undrafted in the 2016 NFL Draft, and he wasn't getting signed by any teams or getting calls from any teams due to the legal issues he was facing at the time. Shawn Oakman wouldn't be done playing football, however. In November of 2017, he would end up signing with the Triangle Torch of the American Arena League. In the spring of 2018, Shawn Oakman would end up signing with the Bismarck Bucks of the Champions Indoor Football League. Now, at this point of his career, it almost seemed like with the legal issues he was facing, no one big time was going to take a big bite on him and take a risk, and it seemed like he was just destined to play in pro-developmental indoor football leagues for the rest of his career, which was a mighty drop-off from the former projected number 1 pick in the 2016 NFL Draft. On February 26th, 2019, Shawn Oakman's sexual assault case that he had against him was finally taken to trial, and the trial process finally started. And on February 28th, 2019, Shawn Oakman was found not guilty of sexual assault. After pretty much 3 years, Shawn Oakman was finally a free man in the eye of the law, and maybe, just maybe, he could finally start getting some serious looks in football and go beyond just pro-development indoor football leagues. Shawn Oakman would finally get his first big break with football on April 6th, 2019, where he signed with the Spring League and he was assigned to the Austin Generals. After the Spring League was over, in the summer of 2019, Shawn Oakman would be yet again back in the American Arena League, where he signed with the West Virginia Rough Riders. On October 16th, 2019, Shawn Oakman was drafted to the LA Wildcats of the revived XFL. But he was waived on December 17th, 2019, but he would be re-signed about a month later in January. In his debut game, he actually had a sack and he even deflected a pass. He didn't play bad with the LA Wildcats when the XFL actually lasted, but unfortunately, the league suspended operations on April 10th, 2020. As of the recording of this video, Shawn Oakman's football career is kind of up in the air right now. He's not currently playing football right now, pretty much because the only main leagues playing football right now are the NFL and college football, and he's not on an NFL team. And the XFL is coming back, in fact, in 2022, but I do not know if he's going to be on a team for sure. Nobody knows who's going to be on any of the XFL teams in 2022. And I hope he does get an NFL shot. Just a shot at a practice squad at least. I think he can make a practice squad somewhere, but it's kind of unknown right now since he couldn't really play highly competitive football for a while until he joined the Spring League and the XFL. I hope he does end up getting a shot in the NFL. I felt like the 3 seasons that he wasn't getting any big offers by the NFL or really any other league, I felt like it really hurt him because those are the moments that he needed the most for the NFL. But he did obviously have his legal case against him, which is going to hurt anybody, especially in those circumstances. I don't really want to speak too much on it, but besides that, he is innocent in the eyes of the law, which is awesome. But I don't really want to get too controversial on the topic. It's just he pretty much got 3 years of a highly competitive football career taken away from him. Now, I'm not saying he would be good in the NFL or anything like that, or he would have been a star. He might have been bad. I don't know. It's just the future is really unsettled right now in his football career. And in my eyes, Shawn Oakman is just a really big what if. What if he would have just declared pro after his breakout season in the 2014 college football season? Or like, what if he would have gotten proven innocent earlier before the case was proven innocent just 3 years later? It's all stuff that's up in the air. I really don't want to talk about the case that much as I stated earlier, but this is what happened to Shawn Oakman. Well, guys, if you guys liked the video, remember to smash that like button, turn on them post notifications, and subscribe for more videos. B. Kelly out.